Good afternoon, everyone. I am Bill Sack, Director of Legal Operations with the Second Amendment Foundation, and you have once again found yourself at the video version of the SAF Weekly Recap for last week, the week ending February 27th, 2026. Let's talk about what we were up to. All right, folks, first up, SAF in the legal world. You know that we stay busy on your behalf and on our behalf, on all of ours behalf. We were thrilled to announce the filing of the third challenge to the National Firearms Act, the remaining registration requirements for short-barrel firearms and silencers after the zeroing out of the tax burden in the one big beautiful bill that was signed last year. Now we have three cases that we are supporting. This newest case is called Roberts v. ATF. Astute SAF readers and watchers will remember that we are a named party, a plaintiff, in our first case, which is Brown v. ATF. We are supporting two other cases, including this newly filed case. Those other cases are Jensen v. ATF, in which the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms is a named plaintiff. And this new case, which is Roberts v. ATF. So we are challenging this law all over the place in federal courts, all over, and hoping that we can get the remaining and now unconstitutional registration requirements done with, dismantled, put to bed, and extinguished for all of our silencer and short-barreled firearm needs. You can read the complaint in Roberts v. ATF at our website in full. Check it out. Folks, please do consider supporting our good work here at Second Amendment Foundation. We are very proud of the work that we get to do here. We consider ourselves truly blessed, and we try to be as transparent and responsible with how it is we spend the money that comes in from our membership and our donors as transparently as possible. Last year, over 81% of every dollar that went to us went directly to the mission of restoring, expanding, and protecting the Second Amendment. Please do consider becoming a member. Please consider making a one-time donation or setting up recurring donations. We are also ready to go to accept Bitcoin. We can also accept all sorts of other things, I think, like stocks and bonds. You can even leave part of your state to us after you go to the great long range in the sky. Please consider any or all of the above. We will do the very best we can to put your hard-earned money to good use. Thank you very much. Check us out, saf.org/give. All right, folks. Next up in the SAF Weekly Recap for the week ending February 27, 2026, we posted our 2025 annual report to the website last week. If you are curious exactly how we spent your generous donations, if you would like to see a cumulative report of all of the things that we did to fight for all of our rights and on behalf of the Second Amendment, by all means, go check out our annual report. You'll see all of the statistics about how the money was spent. You will see a rundown of all of the new cases filed, all of the wins in our pre-existing cases, as well as a number of other exciting developments and growth reports that we are thrilled to share with all of you folks. Transparency is very important with us here at Second Amendment Foundation, and this is our now second annual report. Please do check it out. It's available on our website, saf.org, where you can see exactly what we've been up to and exactly how the money's spent. Check it out. SAF in the media, as you well know, you cannot turn on a podcast, open Instagram or YouTube without seeing one of our gorgeous faces. This past week, the intrepid and always effervescent SAF Director of Legal Research and Education, Kostas Moros, appeared on Gun Stuff TV with the great host Chris Swainhart. If you are not watching Gun Stuff TV, we highly encourage you to do so. Please check out Kostas talking to Chris, see what they had to say. Check out the link below. SAF on Gun Stuff TV. In the famous words of Homer Simpson, you can use facts to prove anything that's even remotely true. Of course, a satirical insight into the fact that statistics can be manipulated in such a way as to make them say essentially whatever you want them to. This insight on full display in this week's article about from the Second Amendment Foundation Investigative Journalism Project. That's right, the SAF IJP by our own Lee Williams. This week talks about an article written about gun violence by USA Today and its use of statistics generated by the Gun Violence Archive, or GVA. The GVA, of course, has been debunked by just about anyone who can read and understand English and apply a modicum of critical thinking skills. Their job over at the GVA is manipulating statistics in order to make gun violence numbers seem worse than they actually are. A fact that the USA Today author actually felt compelled to note while still citing information from the GVA. You can read all about this story in the USA Today and the fact that the author felt the need to hedge his bets and admit that these numbers were probably manipulated in the SAF IJP. Link below. Read the full story by Lee Williams. Check it out. Folks, this past week, I came into possession of this super rad 50s collectible style milk glass Coulter wall mug, which right now and for the first 12 hours of my day has coffee in it because the Second Amendment Foundation legal team runs on caffeine until around 7:05. And around 7:05, you better believe it's got bourbon in there. Which bourbon, you ask? 2A bourbon, the only bourbon that supports us here at Second Amendment Foundation and supports your Second Amendment rights to keep and bear arms. 2abourbon.com, where every old-fashioned supports old-fashioned liberty. Check them out. Damn good whiskey. Supports the right cause. Put a little whiskey in your mug. We have now made it to the end of the weekly recap for the Second Amendment Foundation for this past week, the week of February 27th, 2026. As you may know, or as you will soon find out, we close every one of these recap videos with a case highlight of one of the 55 pieces of litigation that we are currently fighting. This week is one of our Supreme Court cases. This is one of the cases that's currently pending for cert before the Supreme Court. Is a case that used to be called Lara v. Paris. The name has switched around a little bit, which tends to happen over time. The case is now called Paris v. Second Amendment Foundation, and it is currently pending on petition for cert for the Supreme Court. This is one of our young adult cases because there are jurisdictions all over this country, including my home state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, which discriminates against adults that are under 21 years old in terms of how it is they can exercise their Second Amendment rights. Here in Pennsylvania, there is a somewhat complicated web of the things that you can and cannot do under 21 with your guns, but most notably, you cannot get a concealed carry permit. And without a concealed carry permit, you cannot travel in your vehicle with a loaded firearm or even an accessible firearm. And in a declared state of emergency, you can't carry at all. And as some of you folks who lived through COVID remember that sometimes these declared states of emergency last for years. In Pennsylvania, even before that, we had a declared state of emergency over the opioid crisis. So it was like 4 contiguous years of declared state of emergency here in the Commonwealth, during which time, someone who started as 18 years old at the beginning of that, for their entirety of their span of being 18 to 21 years old, was completely prohibited from carrying a firearm, which is unconstitutional. It is a right that is protected by the Constitution and confirmed as such in the landmark Bruin decision. We are challenging these young adult carry restrictions here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Most critically, the issue presented is, are individuals that are between 18 and 20 years old members of the people as contemplated by the Second Amendment? We sure believe that they are. There is no historical evidence that indicates to the contrary. All adult American citizens, at the very least, are those that are protected by the Second Amendment, including 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. Please read all about the case, Paris v. Second Amendment Foundation, also formerly known as Lara v. Paris, at saf.org. You can read our cert petition. You can read all of the prior briefing in the case. And every Monday, 9:30 a.m., we will continue to watch the SCOTUS list to see if the Supreme Court will take this case and finally formally protect nationwide the Second Amendment rights of adults under 21. Thank you, everyone, for following along with us for this weekly recap. the week of February 27th, 2026. I am Bill Sack, Legal Director of the Second Amendment Foundation. Have a great week, everyone.